There's so many ways to do real estate. And if you utilize what you have, utilize what you guys can get approved for and everything like that, and maximize that and do every other creative way, you can really, really still succeed. The most successful real estate portfolios happen during the downfall of the market, right?
Okay, Charles, Lisa, we are live. Hopefully everybody is having a good day so far. Let's talk about the next topic. I always like to be optimistic. I think everything's gonna work itself out, right? Hopefully, like to the people that have been thinking about owning a home, you could shield yourself from a lot of this. You know, like let's say you can't pay rent. If you can't make your own mortgage payments, if you're in a state like California, they're really like, they don't want you to lose your home, right? So they have a lot of programs to help you catch up, maybe modify your mortgage or do something until you get back on your feet. And then during that time, you could probably utilize renting one of your rooms out, Airbnb one of your room out, or doing something creative, right? Like what Henry was saying earlier, to make up the difference in a little bit extra income to be able to pay your mortgage, you know? But if you're a tenant, it's kind of hard because your only person that you're talking to about housing is going to be the landlord, you know?
Right.
And they already have so much over their heads that they're thinking about too, you know? If you're in that position, you know, like call somebody and just talk to them to see what your situation's like. So that way you can shield yourself from crazy, like unstoppable things like inflation going up.
There's so many ways to do real estate. And if you utilize what you have, utilize what you guys can get approved for and everything like that, and maximize that and do every other creative way, you can really, really still succeed. The most successful real estate portfolios happen during the downfall of the market, right?
Creative financing, there's a lot of people offering that. If you know how to structure a creative financing technique with the owners or anything like that, and you're a real estate investor, you could come up on top to create a win-win situation for the owners and yourself.
And a lot of times you don't even need the banks for that, guys. So yeah, that's a great idea. Usually Chia and I, we talk about residential real estate, but there's so many commercial real estate that's happening right now too.
Or buy another business, make it good, flip it for a profit. Henry says, I'm gonna answer all these comments and then we're gonna close out. Okay, you guys? Appreciate you guys again. I'm stuck with a 2-unit rent control property in LA. One is paying $700 a month for a 3-bedroom and the other is paying $800 for a 2-bedroom. Can't do anything. I inherited the property. $700 and $800 in LA?
That's low.
That's very really low.
That's really low.
The rent control, but I guess for Henry, because he inherited the property, this might be a really good property to sell and do a 1031 exchange, because you talk about creative
hopefully
finance.
When you inherited, you didn't pay capital gains, and hopefully whoever that gave it to you put it under a trust. I want to ask Charles if he's ever been in danger during the home inspection. What do you mean in danger? Like rats?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not even danger. I mean, it all depends on what you mean, right? But you know, the funny thing about that is the only time that I've ever been in any kind of quote unquote danger was I had a really irate tenant, you know, in a property that, you know, basically just flipped out that I was there. So I knocked on his door and I didn't knock really, really hard. He came out and he was like yelling at me and cursing through the door. And then he came out and he got in my face and he was like screaming at me, talking about, you know, and the thing about it is I had another inspector that had went there previous. So I kind of knew what I was expecting. But when he came to the door, it was still surprising, you know. So basically, you know, I think he was just a little upset, but it wasn't anything crazy like that. But no, I mean, like, you know, we've had like squatters, you know, in the place and all this other stuff, but nothing really too crazy, you know. I mean,
because you're a big dude, so you really look intimidating.
I feel like that. I really feel like that might be part of it. Honestly, you know. You know, and people don't really kind of mess with me. It's most of the time the occupants, you know, they know what's going on. Usually when they don't, it's when it's a tenant and seller situation, and the seller just really isn't trying to let their tenant know anything, and that's when we end up in dicey situations. And you never know what you're going to get, you know, because people get really upset, especially when you're like, why are you here inspecting? Mm-hmm. Inspecting means selling. What's going on? Am I going to get kicked out? And then they start to ask questions. And you got to remain neutral. But yeah, really, as far as safety wise, I really haven't been in too much of anything too crazy.
Charles, if I did not know you personally, I would be intimidated by looking at you too. You know, like, yeah, see, you're a big dude, and I'm like, holy moly, I'm not really that tall and big too myself, you know. But then just because I know you, and it's like, oh, you're just a big teddy bear, you know?
Yeah, you know, but and I get that. I definitely have gotten that before too. But you know, yeah, I'm a nice guy. You know, I ain't nothing to be scared about here.
Steven, you're hella funny, dude. I might buy Henry's place. Y'all could structure a deal between them amongst you two.
Exactly.
Henry says it was under a life estate. Okay. Good for you, man. Lucky you.
Yeah.
That's probably, hopefully, the 700 and the 800 is covering for your mortgage. You know, hopefully
Right.
you haven't refinanced and taking anything out. All right, y'all, I'm gonna close it out. We're a little bit over. Have a good night. Thank you again. It was fun. We'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Share this video, like this video if you guys haven't done that yet. We love you guys. Good night.